Life is full of ups and downs, and it's easy to feel overwhelmed by the challenges that come our way. Whether we're facing a job loss, a health crisis, or any other adversity, it's natural to feel anxious, stressed, and uncertain about the future. However, the ancient philosophy of Stoicism offers valuable insights and practices for building resilience and maintaining inner peace in the face of adversity. 1. Embrace change. Understand that change is a natural part of life. One of the core tenets of Stoicism is the idea that change is a fundamental aspect of the universe. Everything is constantly in flux, and trying to resist change is a futile endeavor. Instead, Stoics view change as an opportunity for growth and self-improvement. By accepting and adapting to change, we can maintain our inner peace and avoid unnecessary suffering. This means letting go of our attachment to the way things used to be and embracing the present moment. It also means recognizing that change is often outside of our control and that the best way to respond is with flexibility and resilience. For example, imagine that you've just lost your job. While this is certainly a difficult situation, it's also an opportunity to reassess your career goals and explore new possibilities. Instead of dwelling on the past, you can focus on what you can control, such as updating your resume, networking, and pursuing new opportunities. By embracing change and adapting to the present moment, you can maintain your inner peace and move forward with confidence. In fact, the Stoic philosopher Epictetus wrote, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This quote highlights the importance of responding to change with flexibility and resilience, rather than trying to resist or control it. 2. Focus on what you can control. Recognize the difference between what is within your control and what is not. Another key Stoic principle is the idea of focusing on what is within our control. This means recognizing the difference between the things that we can influence and the things that are outside of our control. Stoics believe that we have control over our own actions and attitudes, but not over external events. For example, we can choose how we respond to a difficult situation, but we can't control the situation itself. By focusing on what we can control, we can avoid wasting energy on things that are outside of our sphere of influence. For example, imagine that you're feeling anxious about an upcoming presentation. Instead of worrying about whether or not the audience will like your presentation, focus on what you can control, such as preparing thoroughly, practicing your delivery, and staying calm and focused during the presentation itself. By focusing on what you can control, you can reduce your anxiety and increase your confidence. In addition, focusing on what we can control helps us to avoid feelings of powerlessness and victimhood. When we focus on what we can control, we take ownership of our actions and attitudes, and we recognize that we have the power to shape our own destiny. 3. Cultivate virtue. Virtue is the highest good in Stoicism. It involves developing wisdom, courage, justice, and self-discipline. Living virtuously leads to true happiness. In Stoicism, virtue is the highest good and the key to true happiness. Virtue involves developing wisdom, courage, justice, and self-discipline. By cultivating these virtues, we can live a life that is aligned with our values and principles. Wisdom involves recognizing the difference between what is important and what is not. It means understanding the nature of the universe and our place in it. Courage involves facing our fears and standing up for what we believe in, even in the face of adversity. Justice involves treating others with fairness and respect, and working to create a more just and equitable society. Self-discipline involves developing the ability to control our impulses and desires, and to live a life that is guided by reason and virtue. Cultivating virtue is not always easy, but it is a worthwhile endeavor. By living a virtuous life, we can find true happiness and fulfillment, even in the face of adversity. For example, imagine that you're facing a difficult decision at work. Instead of choosing the easy option, you decide to take a stand and do what is right, even if it's difficult. By doing so, you're cultivating the virtue of courage and living a life that is aligned with your values and principles. 4. Practice mindfulness. Be fully present in the moment. Stoics believe that mindfulness is an essential practice for living a fulfilling life. Mindfulness involves being fully present in the moment, without judgment or distraction. By practicing mindfulness, we can gain clarity of thought and live intentionally. For example, imagine that you're feeling stressed and overwhelmed. Instead of dwelling on your to-do list or worrying about the future, take a few moments to focus on your breath. Feel the sensation of the air entering and leaving your lungs, and notice any thoughts or sensations that arise without judgment. By practicing mindfulness, you can calm your mind and gain a fresh perspective on your situation. Mindfulness also helps us to cultivate gratitude and appreciation for the present moment. By focusing on the present moment, we can appreciate the small joys and blessings in our lives rather than constantly striving for more or better. 5. Prepare for adversity. Use negative visualization to prepare for potential challenges. Finally, Stoics believe that preparing for adversity is an important part of building resilience. One way to do this is through negative visualization, the practice of imagining potential challenges and difficulties in advance. By visualizing potential challenges, we can prepare ourselves mentally and emotionally for the possibility of adversity. This doesn't mean that we should dwell on negative outcomes or become pessimistic, but rather that we should be realistic about the challenges that life may present. For example, imagine that you're preparing for a job interview. Instead of just focusing on the positive outcomes, take some time to visualize potential challenges such as difficult questions, technical glitches, or unexpected interruptions. By visualizing these challenges in advance, you can prepare yourself to respond calmly and confidently, no matter what happens. Negative visualization also helps us to appreciate what we have in the present moment. By imagining the loss of something that we value, we can gain a deeper appreciation for it and avoid taking it for granted. 6. Practice gratitude. Cultivate an attitude of gratitude for the good things in your life. Gratitude is another important Stoic practice for building resilience and maintaining inner peace. By cultivating an attitude of gratitude, we can focus on the positive aspects of our lives and avoid dwelling on negative outcomes. For example, instead of focusing on the things that you don't have, take some time to appreciate the things that you do have. This might include your health, your family, your friends, or your home. By focusing on the good things in your life, you can cultivate a sense of contentment and happiness, even in the face of adversity. 7. Practice forgiveness. Let go of grudges and resentments. Forgiveness is another important Stoic practice for building resilience and maintaining inner peace. By letting go of grudges and resentments, we can free ourselves from the negative emotions that can weigh us down and hold us back. For example, imagine that someone has wronged you in the past. Instead of holding on to your anger and resentment, try to see the situation from their perspective. By doing so, you may be able to find empathy and compassion for them, and let go of your negative emotions. 8. Practice self-compassion. Treat yourself with kindness and compassion. Finally, Stoics believe that practicing self-compassion is an important part of building resilience and maintaining inner peace. By treating ourselves with kindness and compassion, we can avoid the negative self-talk and self-criticism that can undermine our confidence and self-esteem. For example, instead of beating yourself up for making a mistake, try to practice self-compassion. This might involve acknowledging your feelings of frustration or disappointment, and then gently reminding yourself that everyone makes mistakes. By treating yourself with kindness and compassion, you can build resilience and maintain inner peace, even in the face of adversity. In conclusion, Stoicism offers valuable insights and practices for building resilience and maintaining inner peace in the face of adversity. By embracing change, focusing on what we can control, cultivating virtue, practicing mindfulness, preparing for adversity, practicing gratitude, forgiveness, and self-compassion, we can navigate life's storms with grace and strength. Whether we're facing a job loss, a health crisis, or any other challenge, Stoicism can help us find the resilience and inner peace that we need to thrive.